at home and following all the precautionary measures. Apart from that, also studying and completing your work in time. So before starting with today's class, let me tell you the thought for the day. And the thought for the day says, you will never have this day again. So make it count. Now, what does this thought mean? It means that time will never come back. What you have got today, you will not get it tomorrow again. So you should respect time and do all possible and positive things that you could do on that particular day or that particular moment or time, so that in future you don't regret it. So always be active, be alert, be punctual, and make use of the day, make use of the moment that you have got. Make it such a moment, make it a memorable one, not only for you, but for everybody around you. So in continuation to the class, in last class we had seen how Jack had been telling a story to Joe, and how Joe is not very happy because all his stories have the same characters and nearly same ending, right? So here when the father is telling her a story about the Roger skunk, they have seen how the Roger skunk managed to reach to the wizard, and how wizard with his all magical spell had made the skunk smell like rose. And all the animals were very happy with this sweet smelling skunk. So they played with him, lot of games they played, and at the end, in the evening, all of them returned back to their home. So let's see now what happens when Roger skunk reaches his home. Joe was starting to fuss with her hands and look out of the window at the crack of the day that showed under the shade. She thought the story was all over. Jake didn't like women when they took anything for granted. He liked them apprehensive, hanging on his words. So now after this, Joe felt that the story is over, right? So she did not give any attention towards her father, thinking that the story is over. And Jake did not like this, right? She did not like women being so careless about the things. Here when you read this thing, it tells us somewhere that the relation between Jack and his wife are not so good. They have some problem in their marital life. Okay. Anyways, so now Joe, are you listening? And when he sees Joe has become so careless, she is not giving any attention towards the story. So he demands her attention, and then yes, Joe says yes. Because this is very interesting. Roger skunk's mommy said, "What's that awful smell?" And then he's saying, now the story is not over, it is still continued, and something very interesting is going to happen now in the story. And then when this Roger skunk, he reaches home, he has got that different smell, a smell of rose, right? So the mother is asking, what is this smell? What is this awful smell? What at? And Roger skunk said, it's me, mommy, I smell like roses. So the mother does not like that smell because they are not used to it. Rather the foul smell which others feel that it is so foul and so bad, these people, these animals are used to it, right? So it doesn't make any difference to them. But this sweet smelling rose smell is like an awful smell for them. And then Roger skunk very happily announces that it is he who's smelling so nice like roses. And she said, who made you smell like that? And he said, the wizard. And she said, well, off all the nerve, you come with me and we are going right back to that awful wizard. So the mother doesn't like when the Roger skunk says that it was the wizard who made him smell like this. Mama says, let's now drop everything and go to the wizard who had made you smell so horrible. Jo sat up, her hands dabbling in the air with genuine fright. But Daddy, then he said about the other little animals run away. Her hands tittered off into the underbrush. So, Jo did not like this idea of Skunk's mother. And she got up from her bed and making gestures with her hand, she says, "But Daddy," and then he says that the other little animals would run away from him if he again starts smelling bad. "All right," he said, "but Mommy, all the other little animals run away." And she said, "I don't care. You smell the way a little skunk should have, and I am going to take you right back to that wizard." So the mother says that I want you to smell back as you used to smell. That is what is the real smell of the skunk. A baby skunk should smell like that, right? Then he says, the Roger skunk says that all my friends, all the other animals, they run away from me. They don't play with me and I don't like it. So mother says, I don't bother about all that. We are going to the skunk right now and I will ask that wizard to change your smell back to the original one. And she took an umbrella and went back with Roger skunk and hit that wizard right over the head. So as they reached to the wizard's house, what does the mother do? The mother hits the umbrella over the head of the wizard. "No," Jo said, and put her hand out to touch his lips. Yet even in her agitation did not quite dare to stop the source of truth. So Jo did not like this at all, and she wanted to put her hand on father's lips in order to stop him from saying this. But Jack does not stop, he continues with it. Inspiration came to her. Then the wizard hit her on the head and did not change that little skunk back. And then as she was about to do it, she got a thought, she got an idea that just like Mommy will hit the wizard, why don't this happen that the wizard hit the Mommy? This is where the story, the name of the lesson comes. Should wizard hit Mommy? And she gets this idea that wizard in fact should hit Mommy on her head and should never change the smell of the skunk. "No," he said. The wizard said, "Okay." And Roger skunk did not smell of roses anymore. He smelled very bad again. So to which, listening to her idea, the father said, "No, this did not happen. The wizard did not hit Mommy, but rather the wizard said, 'Okay,' and he again took away the smell, the good roses smell from the skunk and made him smell that same way how he used to smell earlier, that is the bad smell. But the little other Johnny, it's Daddy's story. Shall Daddy not tell you any more stories?" Her broad face looked at him through sifted light as tongue. She did not like that wizard had again changed the smell of the Roger's skunk. And she is very upset, very sad. Listening to her ideas, listening to her expressions, seeing her expressions, the father gets angry and he says, "This is my story, right? And I don't want you to change anything in my story. Now tell me one thing, should I not tell you stories after this? Do you not want to listen to the stories more?" So she is now scared and she is upset and she keeps quiet. This is what happened then. Roger skunk and his mommy went home and they heard woo woo, and it was the Cho-Cho train bringing Daddy skunk home from Boston. So he says, and after that both the mother skunk and Roger skunk, they come back home, and as they are coming home back, they hear the sound of the train which is coming from Boston, in which Daddy skunk is coming. And they had lima beans, celery, liver, mashed potatoes and pie, oh my, for dessert. So now Daddy skunk had come, they had their dinner, and when Roger skunk was in bed, Mommy skunk came up and hugged him and said he smelled like a little baby skunk again, and she loved him very much. And that's the end of the story. So after dinner, everybody is in the bed to sleep, and at that time, Mommy skunk, she comes to Roger skunk and she hugs him and she showers a lot of love on him, and she says, "This is how my baby should smell, and I love you the way you are and the way you smell." And here the story ends, the father says. But Daddy, again Joe has some question, and she says, and then Jack asks, "What? Then did the other little animals run away?" So now she is again bothered. What about the other animals? Now they would not play with Roger skunk. So to which the father says, "No, because eventually they got used to the way he was and did not mind it at all." He says, "No. Slowly what had happened, all these animals, they got used to the smell. And then nobody ran away from him." What is eventuality? That is eventually. Because she is not able to pronounce that word eventually. So she is pronouncing it, she is mispronouncing it. She is not able to pronounce eventually, and so she is mispronouncing that word. In a little while, that was a stupid mommy. It was not, he said with rare emphasis, and believed from her expression that she realized he was defending his own mother to her, or something as odd. So, after the story is over, Jo is giving her viewpoints, and she says that the mother was really stupid. So the father says, "No, she was not." Here again we see an autobiographical element, a personal element coming out in the story, wherein Jack is remembering some childhood incident, some memory from his childhood, and where maybe his mother had protected him a lot. So he is trying to defend mother in the situation where in the story mother skunk is. Now I want you to put your big heavy head in the pillow and have a good long nap. He adjusted the shade so not even a crack of the day showed, and tiptoed to the door in the pretense that she was already asleep. So now he said that now I want you to sleep, and he adjusted all the curtains and slides, and he quietly moved out of the door thinking that now Jo is going to sleep. She was crouching on top of the covers and staring at him. "Hey, get under the covers and fall fast asleep. Bobby's asleep." She stood up and bounced gingerly on the springs. "Daddy?" So, as she sees her father moving out, she comes out of the cover, and again she is looking at her daddy. And then he says, "Now I want you to fall asleep. I want you to sleep fast." And Bobby is already sleeping. The brother is already sleeping. Then she again says, "Daddy, what? Tomorrow I want you to tell me the story that wizard took that magic wand and hit that mommy. Her plump ear arms chopped forcefully right over the head." So she is already giving an idea to the father that what story next day he should be telling her. She says, "Tomorrow I want you to tell a story in which this wizard hits mommy with his wand, magic wand. And also he chops the hands and everything." That means she wants that wizard should punish mommy. No, that's not the story. The point is that the little skunk loved his mother more than he loved all the other little animals, and she knew what was right. So here again he is trying to defend the mother by saying that no such story will be told tomorrow, because the baby skunk, Roger skunk, loved his mother more than anybody else. He did not love his friends, he did not love other animals as much as he loved his mommy. So nothing of this sort is going to happen. again shows us that Jack loved his mother very much. No, tomorrow you say he hit that mommy. Do it. She kicked her legs up and sat down on the bed with a great heave of complaint of springs, as she had done hundreds of times before. Except that this time she did not laugh. Say it, Daddy. But she doesn't like this, that Daddy is refusing. So she's showing all her tantrums, throwing her legs, and she throws away her cover and everything. And she sits on the bed and she says that I want you to say that yes, tomorrow you're going to tell me the story that I am demanding from you. Well, we'll see. Now at least have a rest. Stay on the bed. You are a good girl. So father does not again refuse, because he is big enough to understand that now at this point if he refuses, the girl will not sleep. She will not take rest. So he says, we'll see tomorrow what to be done. Right now I want you to sleep. He closed the door and went downstairs. Claire had spread the newspapers and opened the paint can, and wearing an old shirt of his on top of her maternity smock, was stalking the chair rail with a dipped brush. So he came down where he saw his wife was wearing his shirt over her maternity dress, right? And she is pushing all the chairs and tables and furnitures in order to paint them. Above him, footsteps vibrated and he called, Johnny, shall I come up there and spank you? The footsteps hesitated. So, as he comes down, maybe the girl, that is Jo, she had come out of her bed and she is jumping, which he could hear it down. The footsteps, he could hear it. So, he shouts from down only that, Johnny, do you want that I should come up and give you slaps? Spank you means to beat you, right? And spank you. As his voice is heard upstairs, the footsteps, they become fainter and fainter. That was a long story, Clary said. So after seeing the husband, the wife says, oh, today's story was quite long. It continued for a longer time. The poor kid, he answered, and with utter weariness watched his wife labor. So he says, yes, the poor kid. Now this again, it may be now this here again, maybe he had said this in reference to the skunk or to the girl or he himself. Because while telling the story, he was continuously remembering his childhood days, his childhood incident. And then he has a very tired face, and with that tired face, he is looking at his wife. The woodwork, a cage of moldings and rails and baseboards all around them, and half old tan and half new ivory, and he felt caught in an ugly middle position. And though he as well felt his wife's presence in the cage with him. Now here he is seeing all the furniture that is kept, and he feels that it's all a cage. That means he is considering the bond of marriage as a cage, right, wherein he and his wife are there together. He has no love for his wife. He wanted to help her, but he doesn't help her. Though she is pregnant, but still he doesn't want to help her. He is only thinking of helping, but he doesn't help. And then in the cage with him, he did not want to speak with her, work with her, or touch her, anything. So he doesn't want to show any love towards the wife who's pregnant, who's working so hard, right, who's doing so much of labor. He doesn't want to help her. He feels he is in the cage with her. So in the cage also, he doesn't want to talk to her. He doesn't want to look at her. He doesn't want to touch her. Nothing he wants to do. He is just simply silent, right? He is not understanding what he is supposed to do. But one thing very clear, that he is not happy with the marriage. He is not happy in this relation, and that is how again and again we see his behavior, right? Even when he knows that his wife is working downstairs, he is saying that he wants to go down to her, but he doesn't go. He could have shortened the story and gone down, but rather he expands his story today longer. This is clearly seen from the words that are spoken by the wife, that today's story was quite long. So all these things tells us that he doesn't want to help his wife, he doesn't love his wife, he doesn't want to show any care and attention to us. So at this note, the story, the lesson ends. In the next period, we will be dealing with the question answers of this lesson, and I hope you all are completing your notes side by side. So until we meet in the next class, keep learning, keep experiencing, stay safe. Bye-bye.